Hi everyone, this is Sandy. Here we are for day 3 of my 2015-13 Frights before Halloween, and we're going to work on the inside front cover of the album today. We're going to make 3 little pockets here, and then we're going to probably add a photo mat in here, and depending on the time, we'll see how much time we have on, if we'll go ahead and start on the next page. So first thing, I've already made one of these little flaps. We're going to make 3 of these so that they flip back like this, and then they have a little tag in each one. So I've pre-cut these, so you were going to need 3 each of the patterns that you want on the front at 4 3/4 long by 3 inches wide. And then you're going to take your scoreboard. I've already done this other one ahead of time. You're going to take your scoreboard and you're going to score. Now for this one, the direction is going to be the same because of the stripe. For this one, you need to pay attention. So put your pattern in the way you want it, and let's score it at a 1/2 inch on the left side here. Then skip over and score at 3/4. So that's going to give us our little hinge piece. Then we're going to turn it, and it doesn't matter which way. Score at 2 1/2 and at a 1/2. Then you're going to take your scissors and turn it over so that you can see, or whichever pattern, you're going to cut along the first, or from the right edge, the second score line, just up to the score line, and then you're going to cut this section out. So you're cutting out this little rectangle here on the sides. So you only want the flap of the hinge. So let me hold this up so you can see. You cut that out and over here out. So that's what I've done on that one. And then you also need 2 pieces that are 4 inches long by just under 2 inches. It's not 1 7/8. It's like 1 15/16 for those of you who don't like that. So I just cut it 2 inches and then trim it down just a tiny little bit. This one goes with this one, and this one goes with this one. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold your score line in. This is the pattern I want on the outside, and these others you're going to score. The second little score is to help the flap to lay flat because we're not using magnets on this. So then fold it up. You have it looking like this. And take your tape, your score tape, and this is 3/8 inch tape. Get my perfect ruler here to tear this with. You apply tape. Go ahead and tear that. And peel this off. And we're going to attach the back of the pocket, the back side, so that we're creating a pocket. So I want it in like this. I want to make sure my bats are laying correct direction. And line it up on the outer edge, like so. And then bring it on in. Now then, if you want, take some glue. And you could have done this before you attached it, but take a little bit of glue and just put a line of glue across that bottom edge, not on your hinge, and glue that shut. So that creates a pocket. Let's do that again with this one. This is going to be the direction, so you have your hinge fold here. We're going to put the tape on the hinges. Peel that tape backing off on both hinges. And then since this is a stripe, it doesn't matter which direction, so we're going to line it up on the left here on the cut edge, the outer edge of the hinge, the little pocket. Attach it down. And if it sticks out some, just trim that off. I might not have trimmed this one off yet, so I'm just going to use my scissors to trim that off a little bit, like that. And then towards the hinge, I'm just going to open that up and put a line of glue in there to seal that pocket. just like that. Okay, so now we're ready to put these in, but first let's make a notch in it like this one has. So the end with the opening, just center, this is a 1-inch punch, center it the best you can, and then we make a notch. Same way with this one. So now our little pockets have the little notches in them so that we can see where the tags are going to go. Okay, so now all we have to do is attach this in. I'm going to put the stripe in the middle and the other one here. So I'm going to make them, they're going to have a little bit of gap, but not too much. So let's take the tape and just put it on the hinge, the first section of the hinge, not this second score line, because that's actually going to be on the front. The second score line, like I said earlier, helps to make the little flaps stay down so that you don't need a magnet for these. So I'm going to attach this in. That. And then the next one. So they have about, between each one, about 1/8 of an inch maybe, or less on those. So see how the second fold helps them to stay down. So that opens up like that. Now we're going to put something in here, and then we're also going to make some tags. The tags that slide into the little flaps, the pockets of the little flaps, you need 3 each black cardstock, and cut them down to 3.5 inches long by 2 3/4 wide. And then you're going to take your corner punch, and I'm using the 1/4 inch on just 2 bottom corners. Punch the corners. And then you need your angle punch. Angle punch, forgot where I put it. And punch the 2 top angles. Or if you don't have an angle punch, you can cut with your scissors. Like this and this. Now for the little tab piece, just take a scrap of paper and cut about a 1/2 inch wide strip and about 1.5 inches long, and just fold those in half, and then you're going to glue it to the top of each little tag. So you glue one. I put some glue on the front and the back of each one, and just eyeball it on the center, equal distance, probably about maybe just under 1/4 of an inch sticking up off the top of the tab. So there's that one, and then this one I used a different pattern. Let's put glue on the front and the back, and you could also ink these if you wanted to. So I've just put that one on there like that. And then these just slip down inside of your, and I haven't punched this one all the way, so I'm going to punch this one the rest of the way. I had put it in and then I forgot to punch the rest of it, the back side of it. So now we have it punched. So this tag goes in here like that, and the different pattern here in the center. That one. You want to go all the way in so it's past inside of that fold line so it doesn't get bent in there. And then this one. So if you need to trim off the bottom a little bit, that's fine. So you do want it to go all the way in like that. So there's that. So let's open it up, and now I'm going to find a pattern that I want to use here. And then I'm also going to do a pattern here. So I'll turn the camera off and look at my papers, and I'll be right back. For the inside, I've cut a strip. This is 6 inches by 1 1/4, and I inked the edges. So I'm going to use my ATG gun to put this down on the page. And what I'm doing is using this to cover up these little hinges here with the little spaces. Just kind of give it a finished edge for all of them together. So don't put it over the small section. Put it right up against the fold line. Like that. So these still flap over like this. Okay, then open this back up. Then I cut a piece of the pattern paper that matched this in a 6 tall by 4 wide, and I inked the edges, and I'm going to put that right in there. So it's kind of like a decorative photo mat. You could add a black photo mat, so I may do that and see how I like that for a picture. So we're going to stick this down first, right here. And a little bit of border around it for the dots and the everything. So that's like that. So you can leave it like that, or we can put a photo mat, but I think I'm going to leave it just this decorative here. Now flip this back. Here I put a sticker from the sticker sheet, and then I think, I don't know, I think those are maybe too big. I like this one. I like this one, so I'm going to ink the edges where it's, because it's white, just to kind of blend it in so it's not so stark white. And I'm going to just stick this right here on this. And then I want something else down here on the bottom. Let's see. Maybe we'll just use the little beware. Like that. And then I like to add some kind of little bow or string. So this is my Halloween ribbon jar. So I see some orange eyelash thread here, the end of it, and I'm just going to tie it, cut this piece off, I'm going to tie it in a bow. See how that looks. We don't need a whole bunch, just a little bit to add to it. And it's hard to see to tie the bow because you got so much of this thread sticking around everywhere. There we go. Didn't want to tie for me. I'm going to make it smaller and pull the tails in. I'm going to cut the ends off a little bit. And I think I'm going to glue it right there on that. Right here on the bottom. And let that dry. And I like that. That's really cute. So let me check to see how many minutes we've had. I do know that the first 2 days were really long. That was necessary to try to get this assembly done. But I want to break up these into more manageable videos, like about 15 minutes each or so, 15 to 20, because it makes it faster to upload to YouTube, and then we can spread this out. So I'm going to check that, and then I'll let you know if we're going to start tomorrow on the next part, or if we're going to do one more page today. Okay, it looks like we have about 15 minutes videoing to make this. I did notice that in some cases I kind of got off camera when I bring it close to me to do some of the taping and tying of the bow. So I'll try to zoom with more areas so that you can see more, so I don't do that. It's hard when you're working on something to keep looking up at the camera just to make sure that I'm in line. So I apologize for that. I'll do better tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to do the front and back of the first page, maybe these little flaps here in the middle, and we'll just keep working each day for our 13 Frights before Halloween. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.